Only a month after her mother passed away in her home, a woman named Amanda recorded what she thought was a sweet moment. Her 1-year-old daughter was talking to her granny's urn, kept inside a cabinet, but the video she sent her husband captured something else. Something she later called the most terrifying thing I have ever seen.
A month after my mother passed away in my home, my 1-year-old daughter was talking to her Grammy's urn and this happened.
Did you catch that? Amanda didn't. Not at first. She sent the video to her husband, who called her immediately and told her to watch it again. That's when she saw the dark figure run across the screen. Let's slow it down and focus on the background.
I slowed the video down to the figure. Notice the mirror in the curio cabinet. You can't see the figure in the mirror.
Testing for colon cancer with a colon bar kit takes just minutes. Now I got the whole dang day to do whatever the heck I please.
There it is. A shadowy figure darts past in a blink and you'll miss its moment. But here's the detail that makes this truly impossible to explain. Look at the glass on the cabinet. Everything in the room has a reflection, except for the figure. It's a solid, dark shape with no reflection at all. Given that her mother passed away in that very house just 1 month earlier, you have to wonder, was this her spirit watching over her granddaughter? Or did the recent passing attract a different kind of visitor? Let us know what you think. Multi-story car parks at night can be some of the eeriest feeling places in the world, and the bikers you'll see in this video were feeling those suspicious vibes. After the final biker pulled out of the parking area, feeling more and more jittery the further he went, he thought he had got away from whatever was scot-free, but the CCTV footage says otherwise. Check it out. Where the hell did she come from? Was she just waiting there? And how did she launch herself into the air like that? Her behavior before ascending wasn't odd at all, just looked like another person making their way through the chilly concrete jungle. But the biker looked like he felt something was off before he left. And maybe, just maybe, so will you when everything's dark and quiet inside your bedrooms.
If you enjoy your long night walks, this one will most definitely leave you biting your nails in anxiety. So, let's jump right into it. home, a woman in Nepal felt someone, or something, following her. So she started walking briskly and very wary of her surroundings. Close to home, she decided to see what had been tailing her. That's when she noticed this man-like figure, seemingly with sinister intentions, appearing out of the blue. But before he could say trick or treat, her adrenaline kicked in, and she ran while calling for her husband. The man was nowhere to be seen when her husband and neighbors came out to catch him. But the way he stood there for a few minutes, looking at the woman running for her life, is nothing short of terrifying.
The darkness of the night can usually impair your vision somewhat, make you see things you cram into the deepest depths of your nightmares. But what happens when you catch those shadow weirdos on camera?
I love how you begin the book, your introduction. This is funny to me. You said, I've taught happiness to hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Stop.
Spotted in northwest Croatia by the YouTube channel F.L, this imposing figure stirred up a hell of a lot of controversies. Some people seem to believe it's just a tall person walking down the street, but others can't shake the feeling that it could be something sinister under the full moon. What do you think? His friend or his worst nightmare? Let us know in the comments.
Urban explorers can't seem to get enough of abandoned school buildings, but this video, uploaded by Yusuf Ahmadi, wasn't your average exploration. While exploring this abandoned school, they don't seem to find much lying around, aside from run-down school equipment. Projectors, tables, torn-up carpets, the usual stuff. But when they take a closer look at the floor, they realise that something absolutely terrifying happened here. There were bullets strewn around the floor in multiple rooms. They cut their expedition short soon after this discovery though, because, as it turns out, they might not have been the only people exploring that night.
Hello?
I'm just an explorer.
Hello? Are you an explorer? Just talk to him, he's not gonna fucking kill us. Hello? Actually, don't go anymore.
After he receives no answer, Yusuf prepares to follow the hooded dude into the hallway. But after a couple of steps, something far more terrifying than any paranormal experience would make his blood run cold. The bullets on the floor weren't a great sign already, but now things took a turn. A nope kind of turn. Not only did that sound like a shot, but the camera also captured this. We have no information about the exact school where this footage was captured, but could there have been a shooting here, and only a few bullets were left behind? Or just a group of kids risking their life for a bit of clout? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
Pois eu estou sentindo a vossa presença aqui, espírito, neste momento.
The following scary footage was captured by Brazilian paranormal investigator Usilis after a message urging him to investigate a haunted house sitting just outside the city. After learning about the violent activity and the long list of people who packed up and left without looking back, of course, Usilis being Usilis, couldn't resist. He grabbed his gear, met up with the homeowner, and stepped straight into one of the most aggressive hauntings he's ever documented. After a quick rundown of the house's history from his host Lucio, including all the freaky encounters that chased the family out, Usilis wasted no time to getting to work. He set up a medium right in the dining room to make contact with whatever had taken up residence in the shadows. And that's when the night went from mildly creepy It's a full-blown nightmare.
Faz o seguinte, Lucas. Vem aqui do meu lado. Vem aqui. Deixa eu ver quem tá aí. Vem aqui. Vem aqui do meu lado. Estende a mão aqui agora. Feche seus olhos. O meu nome é Ulisses Deadline. E eu sei que minha presença desloca espíritos obscuros de lugares e cantos como este. Pois eu estou sentindo a vossa presença aqui, espírito, neste momento. Ah, porra! Rapaz!
Parece que deu uma cacetada.
Que bagaceira lá! Você viu isso, Luz? A energia aqui, pessoal? Cara, eu espero que a câmera esteja pegando tudo aqui. Certo? Que raios, mano! Olha isso, ó. Vou tentar puxar pra cá essas cadeiras, porque rapaz, a atividade é grande, bicho. Já tava ficando sem espaço aqui. Pessoal, deixa eu mostrar pra vocês aqui. Calma aí, Lúcio. Deixa eu tirar aqui. Olha isso, ó. Essa cadeira. Olha aí. O jeito que aconteceu aqui, ó. O jeito que aconteceu aqui foi espetacular. Vem pra cá, Lu, senta aqui, ó. Senão a gente vai ficar apertado demais aí. Eu não consigo.
Just as Ulysses was setting up a ritual to summon the spirit, boom, chairs fly, drawers slam, and the whole room goes exorcist mode.
Ah, porra!
But to really get why this moment hit so hard, you need to understand the house. Lucio lived here with his family in a quiet, isolated neighborhood, far enough from the city that screaming wouldn't help much. For a while, things were fine. Then came the cabinet slamming, the shadow figures, the whispers behind your back when no one's there. Classic, discounted house with a cursed history vibes. Eventually, Lucio moved his family out, and he wasn't alone. Neighbors started reporting the same thing and dipped before it got worse. But Ulysses, he wanted the smoke. And now he was getting it. Full blast.
E eu vou estar pondo pra gravar nesse momento. Deixa eu mostrar aqui pro pessoal aqui, ó. Os dois juntos aqui, ó. Ó. Meu nome é Ulisses Deadline. E eu estou presente nesta mesa. Pois diga o seu nome. É Lúcio. O nome Lúcio está presente nesta mesa. Pois neste momento, diga o seu nome aqui, espírito.
So it turns out your life is a lie, and Olivia Dean is actually a secret agent infiltrating our society with.
Eu acredito que algo saiu aqui neste aparelho. Eu não sei se é um nome que saiu deste aparelho, mas eu tive um sentimento muito forte aqui agora. Olha isso! Olha isso, olha isso, olha isso! Saia de ré, Satanás! Olha isso, Lúcio. É impressionante, não é? Dá uma olhada, pessoal, dá uma olhada. Dá uma olhada. Dá uma olhada, cara. É assustador, não é? É assustador, não é? Saia de ré, espírito maligno. Levanta, Lúcio. Levanta. Que todo mal caia por terra neste momento.
Ulysses lit candles to try and get the entity's name. Basic spirit communication setup. But then the flames started shaking. candle slid across the table like something was showing off. Unless someone drilled through the wood and rigged a whole setup, that candle wasn't moving on its own. And the worst part? The night wasn't even close to over. Because whatever was in the house, it was already leading him into the bedroom.
Ué, tava fechada e a luz tava apagada. Olha aí. Não, não é lá não, aqui, Lúcio. A luz tá assustando lá, pessoal. A luz tomou um assusto lá, ó. Não, eu tô falando aqui, Lúcio. A luz tava... Isso aqui, ó. Tava fechado quando nós passamos e tava apagado. Que é isso? A cortina. Quem é que está aqui? Rapaz do céu! Minha nossa, mano! Olha isso, pessoal! É assustador, olha, gente, eu tô arrepiado! O bagulho, olha aqui, pessoal, tô rugando, olha, na frente de vocês, ó. Olha, Lúcio, olha meu braço, ó. Olha meu braço e tal, Lúcio, olha aqui, ó. Olha aqui, Lúcio, dá uma olhada aqui, ó. Olha a tremedeira ali, Lúcio, olha a tremedeira. Pessoal, chegou a doer aqui. Ô, Lúcio, é o seguinte, pega aquela Bíblia lá. Pega aquela Bíblia. Isso, pega essa Bíblia aí. Pega a Bíblia. Cara do céu, mano. É assustador.
As they reached the bedroom, the door was already open, lights on, no one inside. And then, bam! A chair launched across the room like someone was done playing nice. Usually's froze. His host looked like he just witnessed the second coming, shaking so hard he could have blended himself. They'd never seen it this violent, but Usually's came to cast something out, and whatever it wasn't going quietly. Time to kill the lights and finish what they started. But what happened next? That's when Usually's realized he should have brought backup.
Tinha algo aqui, Lúcio. O Lúcio tá paralisado, pessoal. Olha isso. Nem pisca, mano. O Lúcio nem pisca, pessoal. Dá uma olhada nisso. Cara, é assustador ou não é? É assustador ou não é? Cara do céu. Saia de ré, espírito maligno. Lúcio, fala comigo. Saia de ré, espírito maligno. Saia de ré, Satanás. Lúcio ficou dormente, Lúcio.
Não vi nada.
Você não viu nada?
Não. Apagou tudo.
Pessoal, vou estar dando um tempo com o Lúcio aqui, pegando a chave e indo pra casa lá de cima lá. Ok,
Did you catch that? The chair moved again.
espírito maligno.
But that wasn't the only thing off about this moment. As Usually's tried to cast the spirit out, Lucio was lying in bed, completely unresponsive. And weirdly enough, he only started moving once the chair slid across the floor. Coincidence? Or was something leaving his body? The room felt clearer, but Usually's wasn't convinced. He needed to be sure. So, he did what any horror addict would do. Grabbed the spirit box and headed into the neighbor's house for one last shot at making contact.
Pegar aqui a caixinha pra estar usando o Spirit Box aqui. E... está entrando aqui no local. Pois eu peço licença aqui do lugar. Caramba, a bateria dessa câmera tá acabando, pessoal. Deixa eu deixar aqui, ó. Dessas coisas. Pessoal, a bateria dessa câmera tá acabando, certo? Eu acredito que se der pau aqui eu vou ter que ir lá no carro pegar outra, correto? Largou tudo pra trás, pessoal.
We lost my dad to lung cancer far too soon, and he missed too many good times to count. That's why the Cancer Guard test is so important, and why I'm adding it to my health and screening routine. Cancer Guard is a simple blood test.
Tudo pra trás, pessoal. Rapaz. cara. Ok, está, eu estou desligando aqui o aparelho, pessoal. Chega. Tá desligando aqui a caixinha. Ok. Tá colocando aqui fora, certo? Opa. Olha. Eu falei pra vocês que eu vi algo me olhando ali, ó. Ali, ó. Ali, ó. Pois eu estou aqui, espírito. Se é vós que estiveres aqui, faça algo nessa luz. Olha. Opa, 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 olha isso. Opa, passou aqui, ó. Passou aqui, pessoal. Passou aqui, mano. Passou aqui ao meu lado. Passou aqui ao meu lado. Olha isso, olha isso, mano. Olha isso, olha isso, cara. Hã? Olha as minhas coisas ali no chão. Rapaz, minha nossa. Olha isso. É assustador, é assustador. Olha isso, pessoal. Eu estou inteiro arrepiado aqui, mano. Eu estou inteiro arrepiado, cara. Cara do céu, que espetacular. Espetacular, mano. Meu couro inteiro tá enrugado aqui, ó. Olha isso, olha isso. Eu vou estar finalizando aqui, pessoal. Você é louco, mano. Pra mim deu até a próxima, mais memória sobrenatural tá descendo a luz, cara. Com certeza. Preciso ver como é que tá a luz lá embaixo.
After clearing the rooms and getting nothing on the spirit box, Euclides was about to wrap it up until the hairs on his arm stood up like static. That's when the room snapped. Drawers flew open, doors swung wide. Objects started shifting and the massive sofa ended up across the room, like it had been launched. Who moved that?
Rapaz, minha nossa.
Casper the bodybuilder?
I did it.
No chance one person pulled that off. That was Euclides' cue. He hit the classic Camry battery dying excuse and dipped fast.
Pra mim deu até a próxima, mais memória sobrenatural tá descendo a luz.
So, real poltergeist? Let us know what you think.
Está aqui. Rapaz do céu. Minha nossa, mano. Olha isso, pessoal.
While enjoying the sunshine one afternoon, this group of people noticed something really weird floating around in the house over the road.
Now recording?
There's nobody in that house. There's nobody at all. Nobody.
I don't know what can be that visible now.
What in the fresh hell was that? Thinking it must be their neighbor, one of them goes to check it out. But no one answers the door. Yet, that thing keeps speeding back and forth. Obviously, they try to rationalize it. Maybe it was one of the kids who was just running around, even though it looked like a tall figure. Or maybe someone was messing with the curtains because they didn't want to be seen. But when they called their neighbor to double check if they were okay, she said the house was completely empty that day, and she had no idea what they were talking about. So, if nobody was home, who was running to and fro? Either there's something really wrong with this woman's curtains, or there is an uninvited guest running laps through the house.
Flag raising ceremonies are meant to be quiet, respectful, and above all, predictable. But during this one in Sulawesi, as the soldiers stood frozen in formation, something decided to show up uninvited, and what happened next turned a moment of honor into one of pure confusion, and something else, sheer panic. Take a look. Sheer panic. Take a look.
Jangan terpengaruh, anak pasti. Jangan terpengaruh. Jangan terpengaruh, jangan terpengaruh. Kalian aman. Jangan terpengaruh. Tarik nafas panjang, tahan. Tahan. Astagfirullahaladzim. Istighfar. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan rasulullah. Lepas dia. Satu lagi. Lepas.
The camera quality is not the best, but luckily you can hear the audio clear as day. And everyone sounds absolutely petrified. You hear blood-curdling screams as you watch people's faces go pale white. But from what, exactly? This thing, right in the middle. At first glance, nothing seems too strange. It's a ceremony with all but one patron wearing white. But when you look a little closer at the context, your hairs all start to stand on end. Many believe the standout, dark-clothed figure was the spirit of an old general who came back to stand with the military. Hence why the guards standing in formation didn't run away. Either bound by duty or respect, they remained in their positions for as long as they had to. The most compelling part of this video, though, isn't even the sight of the figure or the screaming. It's the reaction of one of the guards while the figure stood with them. She stood directly in front of the strange figure, and yeah, you can always pull out that acting card. But a seasoned military woman openly hyperventilating and breaking down during a sacred ceremony of respect seems unlikely, unless something truly bizarre had happened. Wendy here just wanted to jump in on the viral TikTok dance trends. So when she filmed herself doing one just outside her closet, she hoped she would rein in millions of followers and views. And she did, but not for any of her sweet moves, however. She racked up the views for something much more sinister. Did you spot the Hellspawn? Just in front of the blue tank, there's what looks like the shadow of a human head bobbing up and back down. It's super hard to spot if you don't slow down and zoom in. So this wasn't any kind of in-your-face paranormal activity, which begs the question, why bother faking a video like this if you're not even going to do anything showy? Unless it's some kind of cunning double bluff. But Wendy seemingly had no idea it was there, and we haven't seen her mention anything about it since the video was uploaded. Maybe TikTok dances aren't her calling.
Bad news. Your business is only using 20% of its data. The other 80%, it's all around you. Untapped opportunity everywhere. Sure, you could search for it all over the place. Or you could find it in one place. HubSpot. Where data that's buried in emails, call logs, and meeting notes become insights that help you grow your business. All the data makes all the difference. Learn more at HubSpot.com.
We've seen many videos of bus drivers capturing bizarre events during their late shifts, with very few of them being wow-worthy. But this next scary clip is leaving both skeptics and paranormal believers scratching their heads. Let's watch.
Corre el tiempo. Hay un pasajero sentado en un asiento solo, al lado de la puerta. Nos movemos. Y no hay nadie. El pasajero fantasma. ¿Cacha? Sigue ahí sentado. Mira. Y las cámaras están paradas. Siguen moviéndose. ¿Habrá sido alguien que se murió ahí sentado?
The bus driver was ready to finish her shift, but as she glanced at the CCTV, she spotted a young passenger who seemed to have dozed off. Determined to ensure the child's safety, she pulled over to wake him up. But to her astonishment, the seat was empty. The timestamps on the footage hadn't skipped a beat, and the child was unmistakably there on camera. How do you explain this one? Ghostly passenger? Camera glitch? Or something else? We'll let you be the judge of this one.
Every night, as the haunting hush of darkness blankets the town, Gloria Bazan walks home alone from her late-night shifts. The journey is typically quiet, with the only sounds being from her footsteps, echoing through the desolate streets. However, one night, her route spiraled into a chilling nightmare when the silence was abruptly shattered by the blood-curdling screams that started coming from the nearby trees. Driven by fear and curiosity, Gloria got closer to capture it with her phone camera and mustered the courage to shout back. But nothing could have prepared her for what came next. Take a look.
¿Qué? ¿Qué?
Who or what is that? The animalistic way it's crawling left some viewers believing this could be a skinwalker, but the terrifying way it's screaming led others to associate it with La Llorona, a ghostly figure deeply ingrained in Latin American folklore. Locals believe she was once a despairing mother who drowned her children and herself in a tragic turn of events. Now people claim to hear her mournful cries echoing through the night in an endless search for her lost children. But hey, Don't believe everything you see online, because this could also be two friends practicing their horror movie making skills. Whether real or not, it's best to triple check your door tonight and keep it locked. Never know what could be lurking around just outside your house, waiting for an opportunity to come inside while you sleep.
During his many fishing trips over the years, Source 90, an NBMA fisherman, learned pretty well how to identify most sounds coming from the sea. But last year, he began to suspect he was being followed by someone or something. It all started with what sounded like dolphins or whales singing, which is a pretty common sound in a fisherman's life. However, there was something particular about these strange noises, something that would later lead him to a mind-blowing discovery, one that not even an expert from the Whaling Museum would be able to explain. With that said, first things first, let's start from the beginning.
I hear it. I hear him. Where's he at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Bet you've missed it, didn't you? Listen again, closely. A soft, feminine voice saying, "Jump for me," followed by another shrill scream. After hearing that, Source decided to fall into his bunk and try to forget about whatever the hell it was. But that didn't last long, because soon after, things started to get physical and visual. Take a look.
What the fuck? Yo, what is that? What the fuck is that? We got another one over here? What are those?
When he runs up to the deck to see what it was banging on the wall outside his bunk, he catches two streamlined figures, matching pace with the boat. Understandably, people were pretty suspicious of it, because it truly could have been anything, but Source 90 was quick to debunk a good few comments.
You know your boy Sauce 90 never cares what nobody says because people are entitled to their opinion. Always. I'll never knock a motherfucker for thinking what I'm doing is fake or wrong because that's his opinion. Absolutely. But if you're gonna talk about my outriggers, man, make sure you know that the boat I was on, that fifth video, was a different boat. And my outriggers are on the back of my boat, not the front. Keep game.
Pig game. Yeah, outrigger. Got two of them located on the stern of the boat. There's the other one right there. And that video was shot from the wheelhouse.
So if it couldn't have been the boat equipment making shapes in the ocean, what the hell was it? And from here on out, it just gets more unexplainable. Check out what he found while he was fishing.
So I was fishing on this fishing trip, right? And something came up in the dredge. That looks like a tail to me. Looks like the tail of a bone to me. I'm gonna take that bone and go to the local university, which is UMass, go to their marine biology department, and find out what the fuck that is. Because I don't know about you, I'm curious. I got some questions. Look at that.
Now surely, there's a reasonable explanation as to what this is. It's a whale's tailbone or something normal, right? Well, that's what we all thought. He contacted the whaling museum to get the bone examined by an expert, but it just led us all to another dead end.
So today was the day. I got a call back from the whaling museum, and they had an expert there who was willing to talk to me about the bone that I had found. But look at that, man. Look at those big, monstrous animals. Look at those bones. That's crazy. He was there taking a whole bunch of photos, measuring the thing, emailing certain other people that he knows who might have other insight on it.
Yeah, everybody's saying they never seen nothing like it. Usually the bones that come up are like vertebrae and stuff, but nobody's seen anything like this.
We knew the story of the International Rules-Based Order was partially false. That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient.
Take a photo, Bob. Ask me to take a photo.
Absolutely. You've never seen anything like this?
I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
The expert was just as stumped as the rest of us. At this point, people began throwing around all sorts of ideas. Screaming dolphins, ARGs, and the ones that we've been thinking from the start, not so Little Mermaids. If we take a quick deep dive, no pun intended, into Greek mythology, mermaids, or sirens, are dangerous creatures who would lure sailors out to sea with their enchanting voices. Portrayed in many works, such as The Physiologists, as beautiful women with fishtails, or as disturbing humanoid figures with razor-sharp teeth. And as we tread further into the domain of mythology, the more sources videos seem to check out. Distant screams, soft voices asking him to jump, weird streamlined figures swimming along the boat, and a mystery tailbone, too small for a whale, but too big for most fishes in the area. It all seems a little too good. One could argue that the screams are added into the footage during editing. However, they also happen during his live streams.
Can you hear me? Yo, that shit was instantaneous, bro. I gotta watch my step out here, man. God damn. That one echoed a lot. That one echoed from the other side of the damn boat.
Hell, let me know I'm not crazy. It's the same freaking pitch, same sound and everything, like...
And the cherry on top of this cake, after his videos went viral, the government rocked up, toting a whole laboratory with them.
You're gonna be out here doing testing. Testing what? What the fuck are you guys testing? That's what I want to know. We all know Source 90 has heard certain things out in the ocean, and then my TikTok gets banned, and then the government shows up my boat. It's too many fucking coincidences.
The logo on the side of the lab checks out as legit. The University National Oceanographic Laboratory System is an established organisation that researches the ocean and sea life. But why did they hop on Source's boat out of the blue? Commenters were pretty suspicious, saying that they could be tracking the boat, trying to find the supposed siren, or planning to silence him, especially considering there were so many coincidences leading up to this. The screaming, the figures, the museum debacle, his TikTok account getting banned, and then the government steps in? Could the government be after whatever Source has found in the ocean? Or are they after him for knowing too much? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments.
This scary video might just make you think twice about spending the night alone at stupid o'clock. After months of getting the heebie-jeebies in his own home, this guy couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously off. He'd been catching twisted shadows out of the corner of his eye, but one terrifying night finally pushed him over the edge. Desperate for a break, he fled to a hotel for a few days, hoping the distance would calm his nerves. But when he returned, he came back with a plan. Phone on one hand, spare pants on the other, ready to catch that shadow bastard who didn't even offer to pay the rent.
I'm fully invested. Let's go see a shadow bastard. Come with me. Come on, let's go.
He thought capturing the footage would settle things once and for all. Maybe even prove that it was all in his head. But that very footage was the thing that sent him spiraling. And it all started in the kitchen.
Introducing Cash App Afterpay. It's the same buy now, pay later solution for your shoppers, powered by Cash App. Your business's success story starts here. Unlock a network of over 15.
Okay, I'm back home. It's been about 3 days. I just got back from my hotel room, and I've still been witnessing uneasy feeling in here. It's the only way I can describe it. So tonight, I'm just trying to see if there's any type of communication. Whoever you are, I've caught you a couple of times on camera.
Yo, what up? Ghost Golden Guns over here. And I'm going live right now because that's why. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? What the f? What the f? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the f? Hello, who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the f? Please stop. Please stop. This is my house. Leave. Leave. This is my house. You're not allowed here. Leave. Oh my goodness.
The strangest thing about this is that if the cupboard doors were just swinging open, you could probably brush all this off as a bit of string. But how the hell are they slamming closed as well? Unless this guy has employed the borrowers to pull the door shut from the inside, there's no way it could be closed so aggressively. And it turns out that things in there got weirder and weirder, believing there to be some kind of malevolent presence behind the crazy cupboards. This guy decided to invest in an SLS camera. He found exactly what you'd expect when it comes to software like that. But there was another element to the video he caught that will make your hair stand on end.
Is there anyone there? Oh man, that's fucking crazy. What the fuck, man? Who's there? Leave. Leave.
The stick figure is creepy enough, but the fact that it was right in front of the cupboard, and then on command, the door swung open and closed again. Albeit more gentle this time, but still a huge paranormal punch in the face. After living in fear of this phantom cupboard fanatic, the activity seemed to die down, and he became slightly more comfortable, relaxing in the front room. But one night, after he thought it was all over and done with, he felt it. That small, yet overwhelming, foreboding sense of dread began to sliver up his body, twisting through every nerve, as he realized that it had never ended. He pulled out his camera, and in his desperation, he managed to catch this. The footage is somewhat blurred, but if you focus just a little, you can easily make out what looks like a silhouette lurking in the shadows. But what the hell, or who the hell was it?
While investigating a Mexican cemetery where many locals swear they caught dolls moving by themselves, these ghost hunters expected to capture something spooky, but they never expected the huge creep fest that they were about to witness. Take a look.
Movió la cabeza, güey. Ain't going out in this weather to request no cola bug, kid.
You don't have to. You can request one online from your phone.
Perfect. I got mine in my pocket. Sí se movió, güey. Se está moviendo de la orilla, güey. ¡Oh! Y otra vez, güey. Sí, se movió, se movió. A la mouse. No puede ser. Sí, amigo, sí se miró. ¡Colo! A la ma.
Who don't love some creepy dolls moving on their own, right?
Parece que se movió, güey. No, sí se movió, güey. Es más grande, mira.
Evo se levantó.
No puede ser.
El segundo de una orilla se levantó. El segundo.
Güey.
El segundo que está con el de gorro.
Amigos, miren, ese mono se movió.
Es el único que tiene gorro ese a un lado. Güey.
¿Qué pasó?
Parece que algo en el suelo se movió.
¿A dónde, güey?
En el suelo se movió algo, güey. Se está moviendo un mono para la puerta. O para la ventana. Mira en la ventana, güey.
Ese mono que está ahí, güey.
Ese es. Sí, es un mono. ¿Qué es, güey?
No sé qué es. Arriba, pues se movió de arriba.
Se está moviendo.
Acá arriba se movió uno.
Se está moviendo de todos lados, güey. Sí, es cierto, ese se está moviendo, güey.
¿Quién eres?
What's most fascinating about this video is the way so many dolls move in multiple directions when there's a glass window on both sides and a lock on the door, making it incredibly hard, if not impossible, to create those movements with strings without being seen on camera. But for clarity's sake, let's assume they were pulling strings or remote control tampered dolls. Who in their right mind would allow them to open the lock of a private family mausoleum just to mess with the dolls for one video? There's also no way that there could be somebody behind the dolls, as it's completely blocked off. More so, these are clips from a live stream where they kept engaging with their audience, so it couldn't have been pre-recorded or edited. This one left us baffled, but maybe you spotted something that we didn't. If you did, point it out in the comments because we'd love to know.
A big shout out to our viewers Elena and Harry for sending us some cool links to Indonesian YouTube channels, which took us down the rabbit hole where we found the YouTubers Adians GPD. These YouTubers uploaded a video claiming to have captured Kuntilanak Penanggu in an old abandoned toilet somewhere in Indonesia. Well, before we show you the actual footage, first let's decipher what Kuntilanak Penanggu means. In Indonesian culture, Kuntilanak is the term used for a mythological female spirit of a pregnant woman who is unable to give birth. Some also describe it as a vengeful, vampiric ghost of a pale-looking lady. Yes, like the frickin' Grudge. This concept is also widespread all over South Asia, as you probably know by now. On the other hand, Penanggu refers to the guardian spirit or place-bound spirit. It is an Indonesian term that means someone who is waiting. So, now that we have the much-needed background information, let's watch the scary video. The person behind the camera claims to have found a place-bound female spirit that suddenly vanished when he tried to find her again. Let's check out how valid these claims are.
Terakhir kali gue lihat di sini sosok aneh ya teman-teman ya. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu la ilaha illallah wa qayyum la ta'udhu wa la naum. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Man zala jasfa inda illa bi izni. Ya'lamu ma baina aydihim wa ma khalfahum. Wa la yutuna bi shay'in min al-masi wa sha'ku samawati wal ardi bi rifdin ya Allah.
This February, legends take the biggest stage across the globe and right here at home. Access Hollywood has your
Well, this place is a mess. The perfect hub for paranormal activity. Wouldn't you agree? We know you want to rewatch the moment when the Kuntilanak was captured on camera. So here you go, in slow motion. It is definitely creepy. And we wonder how someone could even think about wandering alone at night in such a weird place. But that's not the only scary discovery the YouTuber makes. Here's another one we found truly terrifying. Take a look.
Ini nggak tahu ya kerjaan siapa. Emang kayak ada tali di sini. Ini dia. Nggak tahu bekas apa teman-teman. Ini setahu gue ini bekas lampu guys.
Why is there a rope tied to the ceiling? Are you thinking what we're thinking? Better not even go there. So, was the entire scene raw paranormal activity footage? Or someone looking for a hairdresser? Leave a comment below with this clip's number and the words real or fake. We can't wait to know what you think about this one.
While getting along with his shift, this security guard, in an act of goodwill, gave 2 kids some balloons to cheer them up. He also stopped to have a conversation with them. But when he watched the CCTV footage back, the tendrils of dread began to creep from the pit of his stomach into his throat. Where the hell are these supposed children? He was looking in the direction of the balloons while he was talking, but who was he talking to? There's a few possibilities. The first one being that this poor guy stumbled upon 2 little ghost children that only he could see, and they started following him, balloons in hand. A commenter also mentioned that he could be schizophrenic, which would explain a lot. But how does that explain the balloons following him down the corridor? Well, those balloons look like helium balloons, and if they're at that state where they're half full, when you walk past them, it can create a gust that they follow due to electrostatic attraction. And his talking to nothing could also be that he was talking to a co-worker or something who was at the other end of the corridor. But what if he really saw the 2 young souls who linger through the corridors of that haunted hospital? What if? Creepy, isn't it?
This petrifying series of events was caught on camera by the guys over on Fatos e Mysterios, who ventured into the mysterious neck of the woods in hopes of unveiling the truth behind an age-old Latin American legend. But their expedition ended up proving only one thing, that they really should have packed their spare pants.
Oh, shoot. Why is it so warm?
The first thing they noticed was the clear trail through the undergrowth.
Tá quebrado aqui, ó. Ah. Alguma coisa entrou aqui dentro e bateu aqui, ó. Tá vendo aí? Tá enxergando? Quebrado aqui, gente, aqui. Vestígio de alguma coisa que passou aqui, algum animal, sei lá, não sei. Vamos adiante. Foi aqui, olha. Ei, gente. Olha. Alguma coisa amassou aqui, ó. Porque aquela coisa anda se rastejando. É, tanto em pé como homem, quanto se rastejando.
Meaning someone had walked through there not too long before them. You might be sitting there thinking, it's just a bunch of woodland animals walking through the underbrush, and you'd have a point. Of course there are animals milling around the area, but the damage made on that specific trail shows the impact of someone, or something, changing between crawling and walking, which most animals don't tend to do. They then heard this horrific noise emanating throughout the trees.
Jeff, escuta. Que droga foi essa, cara? Que droga foi feião? Escuta aí, cara, dorme não. Foi sinistro isso agora, viu? Então, que negócio sinistro, caramba.
And after that, they noticed the eerie echo of clicking seems to be following them. To add insult to injury, they also managed to find
Oi? Outra vez? Eu não me lembro não, cara. Mas parece que essa árvore foi arrancada da raiz, como se alguma coisa barrou nela. Com força ou foi a natureza que fez isso? Eu não sei.
Clinton because it seems she knows more about Christianity than anyone else. And
Com força ou foi a natureza que fez isso? Eu não sei. Como? Eu não sei não, velho. Como? Porque se fosse a natureza, tava todas. Alguma coisa, sei lá que foi. E gente também. Mas não tá escutando isso não, pô. Tipo assim, um negócio assim, desse. E, pô, da última vez que não chutou isso, ele apareceu, pô. Então, tô querendo saber de onde é que tá vindo. Puxa, tipo isso. Mano do céu, que droga foi isso, cara? Que droga fez isso? Que droga arrancou essa árvore, cara? Que coisa arrancou essa árvore, cara? Olha isso, cara. Que coisa barrou nessa árvore, gente. Mano, olha isso, cara. Alguma coisa barrou aqui, cara. Olha aí.
Not one, but two, three stumps that had been ripped out at the roots. With all this put together, what could possibly be after them? These guys entered the woods in hopes of finding the chupacabra, a legendary creature rumored to attack animals and drain them of all their blood. One of the main indicators that the chupacabra is nearby is an increase in lifeless animals littering the area. It was initially reported in 1995 in Puerto Rico after the loss of a significant amount of domestic animals found and eaten, but completely clean of any blood. There are many depictions of the chupacabra across popular media, and each varies widely depending on the location of the sighting. It has been described as completely alien-looking, reptilian, kangaroo-esque, and even akin to that of a dog. While we can't see any empty animals scattered around the woodland in this video, we can sense something spooky. And apparently, so could they. Because after hearing a blood-curdling scream rip through the air, they turned on their heels and ran back to the van.
Agora eu tô escutando mais nada, pô. Tá escutando alguma coisa? Não tô escutando mais nada não. Parou mesmo, completo silêncio. É mesmo, né? Vamos embora. Quer ir embora mesmo? Olha a chave que eu tenho. Não, tá aqui no bolso. Vai pegar. Vai, vem que eu jogo pra lá. Grita aí, galera. Parou.
But they had nowhere near a clean getaway, because check out what was waiting for them.
Vamos embora. Que barulho, filho. Bem. Tudo isso é um negócio passando aí, não. Deixa eu botar aqui o farol alto. Olha lá! Eita, tô vendo! Tem uma cabeça. Olha lá, galera. Olha lá, aquela coisa lá, olha lá. O chupacabra lá, olha lá. Ele tá lá na árvore lá olhando pra ela, olha lá. Olha lá. Coisa aquela. Deixa eu dar um som aqui pra galera ver lá. Ele tá tirando a olho, botando a cabeça e olhando. E coloca. Olha lá. Olha isso aqui. Eita, mano, que negócio feio. Cadê? Tá aqui. Pega. Eu vou tirar. Correu. Correu pra mata. Levanta, bora ali, correu pra mata. Bora lá. Desceu, gente!
They're convinced this was the chupacabra, and it fitted back into the woods as they approached. The two glimmering eyes that seemed to dart around, and that distinguished figure being number one, extremely tall for any woodland animal, and two, hyper-aware of its surroundings, enough to almost taunt the two people back in the woods. They ran towards the figure but didn't manage to get any other footage of it on camera, so this one is left up to you. Could they have caught the chupacabra on camera? Does the evidence in this video even line up with the old chupacabra legend? And if not, what in the fresh hell did they catch on camera? Let us know what you think down below.
Working overnight is bad enough already, but for Jonathan Valek, no amount of coffee could get him through this shift. Although, it's not the tiredness catching up with him. There seems to be something a lot more sinister crawling out of the shadows.
¿Por qué haces esto? ¿En qué puedo ayudarte? ¿Qué necesitas? Dime, ¿necesitas algo? ¿En qué puedo ayudarte? Pero no me hagas esto. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte?
Unless there's some kind of wind machine perched inside and outside of that locker, there's no way it could have opened and closed like that on its own, right? Jonathan was understandably creeped out and decided to record a little more of his nightly schedule. But that's when he captured some blood-curdling footage.
¿Quién anda ahí? Entra la escalera. Escalera caída. Pucha. Aquí no hay nadie. ¿Quién anda ahí? Todo está acá. No hay nadie. Esto está raro. Muy raro. Yo escuché como si alguien caminara acá arriba.
We lost my dad to lung cancer far too soon, and he missed too many good times to count. That's why the cancer guard test is so important, and why I'm adding it to my...
¿Quién anda ahí? No te tengo miedo. Hijo de puta. No te tengo miedo. Hijo de puta. Se siente un ambiente pesado. Un ambiente pesado. No puedo ni respirar bien. Las cosas que se cayeron. La loción. Sea lo que sea, no te tengo miedo. Para nada te tengo miedo.
The violent crashes and bangs echo throughout the building, leaving Jonathan a terrible mess. But when he focuses his camera on the downstairs area, He realizes this entity is a little more hands-on than he once thought. Seems like someone else decided to do a bit of overtime.
While searching for a location to record their next music clip, Ben Bauer and his friends stumbled upon an old factory that suited their video concept perfectly. Little did they know that they'd have an encounter that would make them have a serious career rethink. Having heard footsteps coming from down the stairs with no one in sight a day before, they did some research on the building, only to find that it was once a popular place chosen by many who decided to... Of course, after learning the creepy history behind it, and armed with a spirit board, Ben and his friend returned to find out if they had overreacted the first time, or if they really heard something from the other side. But that's when they found their worst nightmares. Take a look.
Are there any spirits here with us tonight? Move to yes.
There it is. What the fuck was that? Okay, that was down here. I can hear it.
Hi. Hi.
All that courage bringing the spirit board and everything, only to get the scare of their lives as they heard footsteps coming up the stairs with no one to be seen. What would you do? Let us know.
Out of nowhere, a figure, an older man, barely lit, walks across the corridor and vanishes into the darkness. Seconds later,
While searching for a location to record their next music clip, Ben Bauer and his friends stumbled upon an old factory that suited their video concept perfectly. Little did they know that they'd have an encounter that would make them have a serious career rethink. Having heard footsteps coming from down the stairs with no one in sight a day before, they did some research on the building, only to find that it was once a popular place chosen by many who decided to... Of course, after learning the creepy history behind it, and armed with a spirit board, Ben and his friend returned to find out if they had overreacted the first time, or if they really heard something from the other side. But that's when they found their worst nightmares. Take a look.
Are there any spirits here with us tonight? Move to yes.
No. No.
There it is. What the fuck was that? Okay, that was down here. I can hear it.
Hi. Hi.
carriage bringing the spirit aboard in it.
Dove? Dove? No. No. Bắt được được anh bắt đây 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 đã được đã được trời
Everything, only to get the scare of their lives as they heard footsteps coming up the stairs with no one to be seen. What would you do? Let us know.
Out of nowhere, a figure, an older man, barely lit, walks across the corridor and vanishes into the darkness.
ai tú sao Peggy Peggy Okay. Dude.